It's the 5th annual Tri-City Kart Club Saturday Night Shootout on SWX, presented by Les Schwab Tire Center.
It's the best of the best in the Pacific Northwest, and they are revved up and ready to go racing tonight under the lights at the Tri-City Kart Club. Good evening and welcome. My name is Brian Levitan, alongside the one and the only Terry Bridges. And Terry, this is going to be an exciting night of racing, and let's sample the menu.
There's a lot of great drivers here. Some of the ones to look out for, you got to talk about Kyle Wick in Shifter. You've got to talk about Cooper Becklin in Shifter. Gabe Sessler, who's going to be running in the Senior 206, as well as Tag Senior. Just a few of the names that are standouts here.
Yeah, and some great local drivers as well. Let's talk about this track. It is one of the crown jewels in the PNW, and the drivers absolutely love it.
One of the most pristine tracks in the Northwest, 5/8 of a mile. The rubber's down. It's set to go. Laps are going to be fast. It's just going to be awesome.
Especially in this cool temperatures at night, it's going to be some great racing. And it's the 5th annual Saturday Night Shootout coming up next on SWX. And welcome back to the Tri-City Kart Club Kid Kart Race coming up right now. Gamache Landscaping Kid Kart Race. And they are off and running right now. This is the first of 10 races tonight at the Tri-City Kart Club 5th annual Saturday Night Shootout. These kids 5 to 7 years old and already driving karts that go upwards of 30, 35 miles an hour. Quite an experience this weekend is here with all these kids out on the track. 115 racers for the 10 races tonight, and Max Chase was in the pole position to start things out. And I believe he is our leader initially here as they make their way around the track. And we have ourselves a nice battle here. A lot of racers on the track, a lot of kart racers. Regan Spire, our leader here in the early going, 2 laps in to this Kid Kart race. Caleb DeLong running in second, Craig Chiesa third, Roscoe Smith in fourth, Madison Persinger in fifth. Max Chase, who was one of the top qualifiers in the heat race, has dipped back into 8th place. There's Caleb DeLong. He's our new leader, Caleb DeLong. Regan Spire there a little bit behind, about 10 feet behind. Caleb DeLong.
Yeah, he was awesome in both the heat races. Just ran away with it. So Caleb DeLong getting it done. Regan Spear in the second spot. Creed Chiesa, another big improvement from his heat race. He's sitting in the 3rd spot. Roscoe Schmidt 4th. Madison Persinger the 5th spot, and Carter McCarley. It's good to be here, 5th annual Saturday Night Shootout, right here from Horn Rapids. Tri-City Kart Club, as always, great hosts. They've got a super good event here. Tried something a little different in the heat races today. I think it was a success, so things looking good.
Yeah, and there's just so many. The event gets bigger and bigger every year. I mean, it had 140 entries, 115 drivers, 600-700 people here tonight, and just the whole garage area just packed. It's just an awesome scene, a great family affair.
For sure. I mean, and it certainly doesn't help to have SWX Sports here. I mean, that's a big draw for the shootout. Who wouldn't want their 15 minutes of fame? So these kids are getting it. I mean, think about it. Be like Dale Earnhardt. They're heroes that they used to watch.
And they're having some fun out on the track, and probably about halfway through this thing right now.
Well, they're going to go for 10 minutes. Most places they go by laps. A lot of the race fans are used to laps, but they do this just to, just time-wise, it just makes it easier to, logistically to set the day sheet and get everything squared away for the event.
Beautiful look there at the track, low level with the lights. And boy, Caleb DeLong He's got the Spire on his tail going into that first turn.
He's money. Quick time of the race so far, 57.856.
They have been 1-2 pretty much the whole way. Spire not quitting.
Creed Chiesa hanging in there in the third spot in the 99 machine.
Getting challenged by Madison Persinger.
Right. Young female phenom getting it done.
And they are trying to chase down. That was number 17. That was Grant Brown, a little bit behind them.
Max Chase in the 19 as well.
Yeah, they're working their way around some lap traffic there.
You know, and this is a class, even though you may be running last, they try to keep it to where everybody's, I hate to say a participation award, but to these kids, it's still competitive. They still want to win, even though everybody kind of gets they try to keep everybody happy, but it's a cool thing. I mean, let's face it, 5 to 8 years old, these kid kart drivers are having the time of their life.
Having a lot of fun. It's a great way to feel that sense of independence. Good battle right here between Chiesa and Persinger. And the 19 of Chiesa able to hang on, going into the turn.
Boy, I'm telling you what, Craig Chiesa put a tune-up on that 99.
Into the dog leg he goes.
5/8 of a mile. Can you imagine being a young kid like that on a track this big? It'd be like running Daytona. Pretty awesome.
And it looks like Caleb DeLong has opened up a little bit more of a cushion against Regan Spire, excuse me.
Yep, DeLong was solid right out of the gate today. He ran away and hid in the first heat race.
And it was Spire with the best time on that last lap, so maybe this isn't quite over yet. Got about a minute left in this race.
Madison Persinger is impressing me to death. Running the fourth spot. Been solid.
Trying to make a move on the straightaway against Chiesa. That's a good battle.
It is a good battle. And that's the beauty with some of the kid car. You've got your groups. You've got the leaders. You've got the mid-packers. You've got the ones in the back. They're all racing. That's what's really important for these guys, is just seat time.
And here comes our leaders down the straightaway. There's the white flag. One final lap to go. And it's Caleb DeLong in the lead.
Spear in the second spot. Chiesa third. Persinger fourth. And Roscoe Schmidt in the fifth spot. Carter McCarley just out in the sixth spot. And Grant Brown currently seventh.
That's getting pretty tight right there. First and second. And that battle rages on with Persinger and Chiesa.
Rob Dutton, chief starter, waving the one to go for Caleb DeLong.
Nice job in the horseshoe there by DeLong, opening up a little bit more of a lead as he heads into the dogleg. Got to work his way around Grant Brown. Lap traffic.
Does it nicely. Grant does a nice job getting out of the leader's way. That's always a respectful thing to do.
It looks like this is going to be Caleb DeLong's race to win as he stretches it out into the chicane and down the final straightaway. He is our winner in the kid kart race. Caleb DeLong, followed by Regan Spire.
And check it out, Brian. Second place, Regan Spire gets quick time of the race of 57.330. So nice effort by Regan Spire.
And Creed Chiesa in third, rounding out the top three. Again, our winner, Caleb DeLong. We'll send it to victory lane with Cooper Perkins right after this brief timeout. And now let's send it down to victory lane, where Cooper Perkins is standing by with our winner.
In victory lane, Caleb DeLong wins the kids kart race. A very warm reception. Caleb, how much fun did you have out there?
Fun.
Was that your first win?
No,
How many times have you won before?
a lot.
A lot? You hear that a lot? Do you always win?
Not all the time.
What did you have to do to win? You were in a close race at the end.
Be smart. I passed everybody clear, and then I went around them clear, and so I made sure they were not behind me.
Well, you basically led the whole time. How much fun is it being out there in front?
Really fun.
Are your parents proud of you?
Yes.
Well, Caleb, congratulations. Good job, buddy.
Thanks.
We'll be right back.
Thanks, Cooper. Coming up next, it's the W. McKay Construction Tag Senior in the Saturday Night Shootout right after this. Welcome back to the Tri-City Kart Club. It's the WK Construction Tag Senior Race, and this is going to be a great battle. Brian Levitan alongside Terry Bridges. Terry, take it away. Set us up for this one.
Oh, this is going to be awesome. Derek Wang on the point. I mean, this is a national level driver that's here tonight, and he's going to show you why here in just a minute, but you've got a lot of young drivers here. Kason Lau in the 26. Parker Dressler will start on the inside of the second row in the 3 machine. Or check that, in the 12 machine. The 44 will be Monroe Jordan starting on the outside of that second row. Row number 3, one to keep your eye on, Gabe Sessler in the 304, and Seth Apple. Both of those drivers very capable. Row number 4 will be Samuel Barrera Garcia in the 242 and Cole Faker in the 307. And row 5 all by his lonesome. He's not going to be here. There's Jake Preston out there, I hope. I know he had some issues in one of the heat races, so we'll see if he's out there.
Well, they're getting stacked up here. Headed down that back straightaway. And headed into the chicane here, getting ready to go racing.
Derek Wang, Kason Lau going to bring him down. Looking to go green this time. From Chief Starter, Rob Dutton. Here we go.
You got the smoke. And there's the green flag, and we are racing in the W. McKay Construction Tag Senior Race.
Derek Wang going to lead it into 1 down the hill. He's going to show you why. He is very, very capable. Derek Wang is one of the top national level drivers, so he'll get it done. It's going to be tough to catch him tonight.
Yeah, he's opened up probably a 2 or 3 kart length lead over the next driver, Kason Lau.
And Kason Lau's a young driver who's really coming to his own this season. He had a wonderful season all year. Got to watch him a few times this season, and man, every time I watched him, he was absolutely magnificent. So, good stuff for Kason Lau. Parker Dressler to 12.
Boy, somebody got a little trouble there coming out of the chicane.
Easy to put a wheel off there. You got to be super careful. D. Wang starting it off, 42, 182. That's going to drop down considerably. I would expect him to be down in the 38s by the time it's all said and done, Brian.
Well, these drivers are not afraid to be aggressive tonight. It's a cool night, a little windy, but a cool night, and nice sticky track. They can be aggressive and make some moves, and Wang has come out
absolutely
ready to make a statement.
And the motors love this cold weather. There's what I'm talking about. There's the 304 of Sessler, Gabe Sessler. I'm telling you, he's going to be tough come main event time. He's been solid all day long.
You can see how they're drafting on that back stretch of the track. That's because the wind's coming at them, and so they can get behind a driver and draft and really get bunched up together. It makes it good racing.
And if you're trying to make up ground, 2 are going to be faster than 1 because you're working together. So watch for that as well.
That's the 26 of Kason Lau we just saw on the back end of the track heading into the dogleg.
Yep. In the 44, the 3rd spot, that's Mojo, Monroe Jordan.
Got a nice battle there with Mojo, and who's in the 5th spot there? That's Parker Dressler.
Correct. Samuel Barrera Garcia, the 242, is currently 6th. Keep your eye on him as well. He should be making his move to the front here very shortly. And
that blue streak, the 88, that is Derek Wang, who is basically dominated this race from the get-go, right out of that first turn, and he hasn't let up a bit.
No, Monroe Jordan retired, the 44, tough break. He was running the 2nd spot, or 3rd spot. So hopefully that's not terminal for Monroe Jordan.
You can see that giant gap between our leader, Derek Wang, and the rest of the kart drivers.
Well, let's look at this, Brian. 3rd spot, Gabe Sessler, 39.776. Your leader, Derek Wang, 39.843 is his best lap. Track position, everything in these bigger, faster classes. And I don't think enough people understand just how important track position is. You can be super fast, but if you're shuffled clear in the back and have to work your way up, it's pretty tough.
And there is Sessler trying to chase down Case and Lau. That seems like the next best battle between those two.
Still got a ways to go. 10-minute main events. We're currently at 4:11, so quite a bit of time. Don't want to show all your cards too early.
And we've seen it before where there have been drivers who have been dominating a race and then something goes awry, and all of a sudden those two drivers who were fighting it out for second or third have an opportunity.
Well, it doesn't matter what sport you're in. We all know it's not over till it's over, especially here.
There goes the blue streak. Derek Wang into the straightaway.
Boy, Lau running tough. 39.982 was his last lap. Sessler, a 6.68. So right now, Sessler's the fastest car on the racetrack, but he's third.
That is a good battle between Sessler and Lau.
Yes, it is.
Sessler looks like he wants to make a move on the dogleg here somewhere.
Derek Wang, showing you why he's one of the best in the country. Way out in front. And just cruising.
Sessler is all over Lau there. He's got no room to breathe heading into turn one. Can he make that pass?
I know Seth Apple's out there. I just think he's got a transponder issue. Tough break. Cole Faker out as well to 307. Again, hopefully that's not terminal for Faker. Samuel Barrera Garcia in the 242. Currently in the fourth spot. And he's putting up some numbers, but he's a little off, 40.206. So he's got to find a little bit of speed. Yeah, there is Seth Apple in the two.
He's sitting in eighth spot. And that's the battle right there between Sessler and Lau. It looks like Sessler has taken over that position from Lau. And he's in second place now.
Parker Dressler in the 12, currently in the fifth spot.
Nice battle with Barrera Garcia.
Correct, and that last lap of 46.506, something awry there on Parker Dressler for sure. Case and Lau.
Yeah, Lau's back in front of Sessler. That has been probably the best battle of this race thus far.
Absolutely. And Lau got a little bit more breathing room than he had the last lap. So,
and actually check that. Sessler's now back in second, or was in second, and I flipped it. That might have been my mistake.
It's hard to see way back on the backside. A lot of times you get those passes there, and there's so much stuff going on, and it's everywhere. It's hard to keep your eyes everywhere, but
that's Derek Wang making his way through the dogleg and get a good idea with that good bird's eye view shot, how comfortable his lead is and how dominant he's been tonight in this race. The tag senior.
And the next time he comes through the chicane, watch the steering wheel here. It barely moves. That's a great sign that the go-kart is working super good, is when you barely have to turn the steering wheel. So Derek Wang dialed in and just cruising right now. Oh, Seth Apple. Nice move there.
It's working its way around.
The 304 of Gabe Sessler.
Yeah.
Currently second, trying to run down Derek Wang.
So I think that was Apple.
Yeah, Apple. He got by Parker Dressler. I think that was for position.
Derek Wang, probably about 6-7 car lengths ahead.
Yeah, Wang's not going 100%. He knows he's got a pretty sizable lead, so he's just cruising right now. Used to see a lot of D. Wang at the local regional races and stuff, but since he's been doing more of a national schedule, I haven't seen too much of him. So it's nice to have him here. It's always good to have that raise the bar competitors here, and he definitely does that.
He went through that chicane like it was nothing.
Boy, Seth Apple in the two. Dressler's out as well. Wow. We're dropping like flies here.
Unbelievable, huh?
A WMK Construction Tag Senior. Yeah, Allen officially puts Apple in 5th, I believe.
Yeah. So Wang put this race away early. There's the white flag, so one more lap to go. Cecil looks like he's got this second place locked up if he can be mistake-free the rest of the way. Pace and Lau's dropped back to it looks like 3rd.
Samuel Barrera Garcia currently 4th. He's got quick time of the race with that 39.214. Boy, he's flying. Problem is he's almost 6 seconds behind the leader, Derek Wang.
Wang making his way down the back stretch into the chicane. He can smell victory. There is the checker, and there is the blue streak of the 88 and Derek Wang, who is our winner in the W. McKay Construction Tag Senior Race.
Gabe Sessler going to finish up in the 2nd spot. Kason Lau will be 3rd. Samuel Barrera Garcia, your quick lap of the race, in the 4th spot. Seth Apple will finish 5th. Dressler, Faker, Jordan, Preston, all having problems and having to retire.
Another race here in the books. The winner of the W. McKay Construction Tag Senior is Derek Wang. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Cooper Perkins will be standing by with Mr. Wang in victory lane. And with that, another race in the books. The winner of our W. McKay Construction Tag Senior Race, once again, is Derek Wang, and he is standing by with Cooper Perkins in victory lane.
In victory lane, the winner of the Tag Seniors, Derek Wang. You pulled away from the pack and put together a really nice race. Explain to me what your process was there throughout those first couple of laps, and then how you pulled away down the stretch.
Yeah, the first couple of laps, it's gotten a lot colder, so it was actually really slippery, so I was just trying not to crash. And then once I got through the first few laps, once the tires warmed up, it was pretty easy from there.
We do hear a lot about how the track changes throughout the night. How does that play in as opposed to earlier today when you guys are racing your heats?
It was just super uncomfortable earlier today when it was like 90 plus degrees. I'm from the other side of the mountains, and we don't get that, so it was just trying to stay hydrated, not pass out really.
So you guys come over here from the other side of the state and have an opportunity to race it. A pretty interesting course here, 7 turns and challenging, but what do you take when you come into this and try and apply from other places that you've been?
Yeah, I mean, this is an amazing facility. Everybody in the club does a great job, and everybody's super into it, so it's always great to come over here and race. I mean, it's really good to get lap time and track time and get practice out here and race against a lot of the good guys around the state, so it's fun times.
Well, congratulations, Derek Wang, winner of the Tag Seniors.
Thanks, Cooper. Much more to come here on the 5th annual Saturday Night Shootout. Stay with us, we'll be right back. And we are about to go racing here. 3rd race of the 10-race docket tonight. It's going to be a good one. The Hanson Racing Junior 1 Briggs 206.
Now they're going to do a standing start here, kind of like what you're used to in, oh no, Junior 1 rolls, I think. Yeah, they do roll.
They're going to roll, yeah, it looks like it. There's the green flag, and racing underway. Good battle here with some good young drivers. And what a battle this should be here. The Hanson's Racing, the Hanson Junior Racing Junior 1 Briggs 206.
Boy, and Corkery was on the pole, and he falls to 4th right out of the gate.
I'm talking with Spencer Fricky and his dad earlier. He was saying, boy, Ben Corkery's one to be mindful of. Also talking about Trusted Moore right now sitting in 2nd place. He also mentioned Caleb Keck as well, who is our leader here in the early going.
Yeah, and one of the sleepers as well is Chance Carson in the 22. I mean, there's just a minute. Forrest Adams has been strong too as well in the 8.
And Spencer Fricky out of Pasco sitting in 5th place here in the early going of this race.
Actually 4th. Tegan McNeil will be 5th, Kennedy Spears 6th, Colson Chiesa 7th, Corkery in the 8th spot.
Goes from 1st to 8th place, and that's how that first turn, you don't make that quite right. You get a little stuck. You got several turns thereafter.
And that's that track position I was telling you about. So now he's dug himself in a hole, and he's got to get himself back out. Tough to do.
And Caleb Keck in the 19 is our leader, but being chased down by Trusted Moore, who works out of that big tent with all the Worleys.
Yes, Midnight Motorsports. And boy, they've got him rolling. I mean, he really came on the second half of the year. Tegan McNeil, another female phenom, currently in the 5th spot. In the 5, Kennedy Spear. In the 12 is 6th. Colson Chiesa, I'll have to tell you, in 7th. I'm a little surprised Forrest Adams, he had a couple good heat races. I expected him to be moving up more towards the front.
There's just a bevy of cars there making it down the back straightaway, the front straightaway, excuse me. And we got one off the track.
Oh
Sure
boy,
that was.
that looked like it might have been maybe Bryce Smark, I'm not sure. Corkery is 19th. He's out.
He's out. So
Corkery's out.
That might have been his.
Unbelievable.
That might have been his ride that went off the track there.
Boy, that's heartbreak for Corkery, who had a season of seasons.
Somebody trying to make a move there on the front straightaway. And, that's a good battle. Who's that?
You know what? That's Keck and Justin Moore.
It looked like that was first and second.
Yeah, good battle there.
Just couldn't get a good look at the numbers from that far away.
So Moore, who I thought was having issues in the second heat race, boy, they tuned that bad boy up. He's running second right now and knocking on the door. 45.040. Keck a 44.888. Not too far off, a couple tenths. Look at that, nose to tail, your leader, and Moore.
Yeah, those two, Spencer Fricke was saying those two are going to be tough to contend with in this race, and that is certainly borne out.
Well, this will show you how two can work together and be better than one.
They're weaving through those first 3 turns there, pretty tough. The rest of the drivers make it down the straightaway.
Getting a good shot there. Of the 77 of Kylie Hauser.
And we saw Reed Brown there sitting in 13th.
Mason Chambers 14th. Herbert Holtz is 15th. Tavensheet 16th. Noah Dutton and Jack Grote 17th and 18th. Oh,
The
and there he
17
is.
car is off. That's Jack
Grote.
Grote. He's done.
Tough break for Grote. You know, it's a shame you come work this hard all day and just a few laps shy of making the feature. That's a bummer.
That's just racing.
That is just
the way
racing.
It goes. You gotta learn to let those things go.
Fricke got his head down and charging. He's in the 3rd spot. Hansen is 4th. McNeil is 5th. The 12X of Nico Heinzel, transponder's not working. Currently in the 5th spot.
There's the 16 of Madison, Hansen with Tegan McNeil, Otter Tail.
Correct. Kennedy Spear there. You got a quick shot of the 12 as well. There's Fricke heading into turn number 4. The 007.
Got a little ground to make up to catch 1 and 2.
But solidly in the 3rd spot. Nothing really close behind him.
He's got to hope that Keck and Moore get into a good battle and slow themselves down a little bit. But like you said, in this kind of a situation at night with the wind, 2 is better than 1, and they're kind of blowing past everybody together.
And Fricke's got no help. He's trying to do it by himself, so he's got to be super fast if he wants to run them down. Madison Hansen puts up her best lap, 45.456.
There's Keck and Moore just nose to tail, like you said, pretty much the whole race. That's going to be a nice battle towards the end.
That's that. It's never over till it's over, right there, because it's going to come down to the final corner on the final lap. Kylie Hauser doing a nice job. The 08 is Gavin Grossglauser. He's currently 12th.
Keck looks like he's opened up a little bit of space on Trusted Moore. They both struggle to navigate some lap traffic there. Moore certainly did. Got stuck behind a car.
Boy, we had a pass for position there into 1. So hard to see. Coming up in turn number 3. Colson Chiesa putting up his best lap, currently in the 7th spot, 45.947 for Chiesa. And he is chasing Tegan McNeil in the 5.
There is Fricke in the 007. Still out in space there, but in third place. Gotta like that.
Absolutely. Again, got a good shot of Hauser and the 08 of Grossglauser.
Caleb Keck's got a nice lead. He's opened up at least a couple of car lengths. And Treston Moore.
So Hanson Racing Junior 1, just to let you know, Brian, the Junior 1, the ages are 7 to 12. And they are on LeConte red tires, which is been the ICP Cup tire of, that's the regulated tire. Been a good tire. Some people don't like them, but they seem to be consistent anyway.
Saw Spencer Fricky there making it down the straightaway, and interesting thing about him, Terry, he is a third generation racer in his family.
We got two off there.
Oh wow, we got a couple of...
That's the 3 of Herbert Holtz and the 14 of Mason Chambers.
Wow, that's, and they were running 13th and 14th, looks like. Excuse me, 14th and 15th.
Correct. But here, not like NASCAR, there is no full course caution. It's just a local caution. Let everybody know, hey, we've got a couple people spun. They slow down when they go by, but everybody stays racing.
There's Caleb Keck. He's got a huge lead on Treston Moore, about 4 or 5 kart lengths. And then followed by 007.
Spencer Fricky.
Spencer Fricky, who, as I was saying, is a third generation racer. His grandpa and his father were both drag racers. And asked Spencer if he wanted to be a drag racer one day, and he said, I like the seat time. Those races are pretty short, about 7 seconds. Here he can be out on the track for an hour, hour and a half.
Yep. And one bad run and you go home.
And the racing, there's always that race within the race, and you see it back at the end there. Got the white flag, so one final lap left.
Bill Pitts, chief starter, waving that 1 to go.
Hanson Inspire, a nice battle there, 4th and 5th.
Absolutely, they've been battling it out all race long. Kennedy Spear 5th, Tegan McNeil 6th, Colson Chiesa in the 13 is currently 7th.
That's Spencer Fricky in 3rd, making his way around the final lap. And of course, looks like it's going to be Caleb Keck and Treston Moore in the 1-2. There's Keck. Through the chicane and down the straightaway. And Caleb Keck is our winner in the Junior 1 206.
Yeah.
He wins it going away.
He did. He earned every bit of that. He's been solid all year. Even in the regional series, he's been awesome. So no surprise here, really, that Caleb Keck gets the W. Tristan Moore from Midnight Motorsports doing the job in the 2nd spot. Spencer Fricky, the James Bond 007. And again, one of my favorites tonight, the 16 of Madison Hanson doing a great job in the 4th spot.
Once again, our winner of the Junior 1 Briggs 206 is Caleb Keck. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, Cooper Perkins will be talking with our winner. And without further ado, let's send it down to Victory Lane, where Cooper Perkins is standing by with our winner, Caleb Keck.
In Victory Lane with the winner of the Junior 1 Briggs 206, Caleb Keck. Congrats, buddy. You ran a great race. Tell me how you pulled away at the end.
Well, it's more about, like, I got through lap traffic quicker, and they got stuck behind them, and I pulled away.
What was your strategy from the start of the race?
Just go fast, I guess.
Saw you come out. It was a really exciting moment for you. You got a big hug. Tell me about what this means.
I mean, it's just fun and a lot of love and support.
What are you going to do the rest of the night now?
Celebrate.
Atta kid. All right, well, the winner of the Junior 1 Briggs 206, Caleb Keck.
Thanks, Cooper. Once again, our winner, Caleb Keck, in the number 19 car. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, more racing action to the Saturday Night Shootout with the Total Energy Management Tag Heavy. And welcome back to the Horn Rapids Kart Track. Total Energy Management Tag Heavy getting ready. And just about ready to get set, get going. Brian Levitan alongside Terry Bridges. Break this one down for us, Terry.
Well, Brian, this is going to be a doozy. Don't let the numbers fool you. These guys are good. They're going to put on a great show. Jock Rickards on the pole. Midnight Motorsports, Chris Worley going to join him on the outside. The 126 of Davin Sturdivant, part of the Hugler Racing house team. Tim Dragoo, who is one of the regional directors of the In-City Prince ICP Cup, that's our regional series, and Doug Hugler in the 13, the Wiley veteran, coming out to run the Shootout. He doesn't run much anymore. He runs some of the special races, but his plate's pretty full logistically, trying to keep his drivers and stuff all squared away.
And these are older folks here, all 16 and older.
Correct.
You'll have some older folks in this race, and it's a bunch of grown men going at it, basically.
Absolutely. Reed inducted, 2-cycle engines, ready to rock and roll.
It's a smaller field here, but it'll be fun. You can get after it a little more room to move.
Correct. I'm going to tell you, keep your eye on the 9 of Brian Verdine. He had some problems early on in the day, but he's got them fixed. He was fast. Chris Worley said he's a little concerned because Verdine's been really fast, so here we go.
And we are rolling in the Total Energy Management Tag Heavy into the first turn.
It's going to be Worley leading it in the 655 Midnight Motorsports. Jock Rickards.
That is an impressive operation there. Midnight Motorsports was under the tent there for a little bit. Worleys were busy on the track, but
they work hard.
It was fun to watch some of the other folks there at work and chat with them a little bit.
You know, what a lot of people don't understand is Chris Worley, Ricky Worley. I mean, these guys are racing, but they're also a big part of the Tri-City Kart Club, so they're trying to manage and put out fires while they're still trying to figure out, does my kart work and what does it need? So they're getting pulled in all kinds of directions, and you can see right now that's how the focus is with Midnight Motorsports. Chris Worley leading the way.
And Craig Chiesa, the track president, was talking about how there's certain families that are just so essential to the success of this incredible track, and certainly the Worleys are among them, along with maybe the Freaks as well, as well.
Absolutely, Brian. You know, and I say this all the time. I get the fortunate blessing of getting to call some of these races, but I can tell you right now, if it ended today and I couldn't do this anymore, the friends and families and everything that I've met through this is, I'm a rich man for that. So it just tells you it's a real family sport for sure.
And Mr. Worley has opened up a pretty hefty lead on our second place driver, Davin Sturdivant.
Yep. Sturdivant's had a good year. He's been with Hugler for the last couple of years, and he's been doing a really great job.
And I believe that Jack Rickards is actually in second place.
Right.
No transponder.
Yep. We preach it all day long. Make sure your transponder works. Make sure it's on and working.
Yeah, he's in the 03, so a race monitor had
He's
Sturdivant
currently in second.
Yeah, I think Sturdivant's actually in third.
That is correct.
We had a cart just go off there. I didn't see the number on it. So
Yep,
there you go. That is Rickards right there in second, and right behind him
is the 126. Yep, Davin Sturdivant.
And that's really the battle right now, as Chris Worley has opened things up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm surprised Brian Verdine hasn't made a charge to the front. Oh, Brian Verdine is out. Wow. So 2 laps ago, he retired it. There's Sturdivant getting by. Jock Rickards. Make the turn number 4.
Is able to close the door on him. It's a battle for second place, but nobody looks like is going to be catching this guy here, Chris Worley. Sturdivant looking pretty strong through the S there.
Absolutely. We were just taking a peek at Davin Sturdivant in the second spot. He made the switch to Hugler, I think, a couple of years ago, but boy, once he's done that, he's got to work with Hugler, who's a veteran, seen all these tracks so many times, and Sturdivant's a much improved driver in 2019, no doubt about it.
Yeah, he's opened up about a 2-kart lead on Rickards.
Boy, Worley's flying.
Yeah, he's got nobody.
40.416, quick lap of the race thus far.
Nobody's close to him.
There's Sturdivant going, putting his team owner down a lap. That might not go over too good. It's gonna be a long ride home. Yeah, he's left Rickards.
About halfway through this tag heavy race, and it's been the Chris Worley show.
It sure has. Midnight Motorsports on the gold chassis. And they are getting it done.
Under the lights.
Man, does it get any better than this?
I don't think so, especially if you're racing for Midnight Motorsports.
Right now it doesn't. That's pretty awesome. And Hugs are going to call it quits, it looks like. There's your leader, Chris Worley, as he heads down the short chute into turn number 4. 140 plus entries? My goodness, that's huge.
Yeah, I'm parked practically out on the main road.
Yeah,
that's how packed it is in the lot here. There is no parking. It has become a bigger and bigger event each and every year. And here we are in year 5, and it feels like just yesterday I had the pleasure of meeting Terry Bridges. Always memorable.
Same with you, man. No doubt about it.
I'm not quite as memorable.
Oh, yeah, you are. It just depends who you are. Chris Worley, my goodness. Lights out.
And that's 6.55. He's dominating.
I think he's just cruising now.
Davin Sturdivant is certainly comfortably in second place at this point. And it feels like the top of this race pretty much figured out.
Well, this is how bad Worley's winning this deal. He's 12, almost 12 and a half seconds ahead of Sturdivant. That's a good old-fashioned whipping right there.
It's an eternity in racing.
Well, you know what? The Worleys work very hard, and they're always in the hunt. Their iron's clean. They bring good stuff. I mean, they're always a force wherever they go.
It's hard to believe what a battle Sturdivant and Rickards were having for second not too long ago, and a couple minutes later, Rickards has totally fallen off.
Boom, isn't that crazy? Just a difference in setup. Sometimes they come in quick. Sometimes they come in late. That's one of the mysteries of karting, is how to nail that, get that just right. Chris Worley found it, because he's been just right all night long. Hugler retired. Verdine retired, and he had issues early on as well, so it was nice to see him get out there, but apparently the gremlins are still there. There's Rickards. So a bit off the pace, but still rolling.
Yeah, in third place, I believe. His transponder not working, but I believe he's still in third. There's the white flag. So one more lap to go. That is Darren Sturdivant.
Yep.
Still sitting comfortably in second.
He just got to keep it on the racetrack.
And Chris Worley,
boy, what
around the horseshoe.
What a dominating performance by the 6.55. Wow,
Well, just a nice leisurely stroll.
Cruising. Well, you can do that when you got a 12-second lead. Pretty tough to do when you got nothing but a mirror full of a guy behind you. That's what hard work gets you right there. A big W. The Saturday Night Shootout.
And there is Sturdivant. And
gonna bring it home.
One.
P2, baby.
He'll finish in second place. But our winner in the Total Energy Management Tag Heavy is Mr. Chris Worley, going away by more than 12 seconds. Darren Sturdivant in second. Jack Rickards in third place. And so that concludes the Tag Heavy race. We're going to step aside, but when we come back, Cooper Perkins in victory lane with our winner. Let's send it down to victory lane where Cooper Perkins is standing by with our winner.
In victory lane, alongside winner of the Tag Heavies, Chris Worley. Chris, it was a dominating race. You put on an outstanding show. Take me through some of the marks you were trying to hit and how you executed so well.
I mean, to be honest, it started with the start. You know, you got to put yourself in the right position being on the outside. But, I mean, the cart was hooked. Fellow racer helped me out today, and we got it set up where we needed to be, and along with the rest of my crew. So we got it rolling pretty good.
You mentioned the start, rest for a quick second there. What did you do leading up to things to set yourself up well?
The biggest thing, especially with ours, we just got to be careful not loading up the cart too much. So, like, those slow starts end up loading up the cart. Clean it out, make sure, and then position yourself correctly on the track after the green, right? So trying to give your opponent enough room on that side and leave yourself enough room to be able to get through the first corner. What folks at home can't see is beneath this, you've got your official shirt on because you're a big part of the Tri-Cities Kart Club here. Explain your relationship a little bit for the folks at home. So I've been part of the Tri-City Kart Club now for about 7 years. Been vice president for 3 to 4, somewhere in there. I run my own company, so it leaves me enough time to be able to do some of the stuff here that needs to be done. But I wouldn't be able to do it without the rest of the guys that are here to help. So,
well, it pays dividends tonight. Winner of the Tag Heavy, Chris Worley.
Thanks, Cooper. Coming up next, much more racing on the 5th annual Saturday Night Shootout. Back right after this. And welcome back to the Tri-City Kart Club. 5th annual Saturday Night Shootout. Getting ready for the House of Auto Parts and Paints Tag Junior Race. Ryan Levitan and Terry Bridges. Boy, some great racing, Terry. Already 4 races in. Can't believe we're about halfway through this thing.
I'm going to tell you what, you're about to see some more great racing. Jesse Webb from out of Canada. This kid has been tearing it up. Gracie Brown, a female phenom. She is outstanding as well. Gabe Tesh. Boy, I wish I had time to tell this kid's story. It's actually utterly amazing, but maybe we'll get to that later. Starting 4th will be the 5 of Kieran Rogers. Starting 5th will be Nolan Allison in the 19. And starting 6th on the outside of Allison will be the 6 of Jacob Brinka. And row number 4 will be the 18 of William Ginn. Here we go.
And we are going racing into that first turn. It's always fun. Oh, we got a wreck.
Oh, we got a mess.
Couple of cars out already.
Yeah, I think Tesh got caught up in that a little bit. I'm not positive, but it looked like there's the 5, Kieran Rogers.
And it looks like Kieran Rogers is leading the race.
No, they're going to restart it. The red and yellow means they're going to do a complete restart.
So is that a break for the 2 cars that spun out then?
It is a break, because typically it's supposed to be, well, how many, 50% of the field spins, it's supposed to be a restart, but it's a Saturday night shootout. You get a little extra leeway.
So those 2 cars that spun go to the back, am I right?
Correct.
So they lose their race position.
Well, if they restart it, they'll get their spot back. They'll just restart it. Tesh is going to be right there on the inside of that second row in the 48.
Getting ready for the House of Auto Parts and Paint Federated Auto Parts Tag Junior Race. This is a restart. Had a wreck on the first one there, Terry. And let's see if they can get things off smoothly this second time around.
Webb gonna lead it. And it is gonna be a long night for most if he's got the lead.
Webb has got the lead there, about cart length and a half. And he is looking to open up some ground in the horseshoe. Work their way into the dogleg for the first time in this race tonight.
Boy, Jesse Webb. I saw him for the first time in May, and he was just amazing. How long you been doing it? Less than a year. It's like, oh my goodness. It's like, wow, are you kidding?
I had friends like that, just good at something right out of the gate.
Yeah, just picked it up awesomely.
He looked like a pro going over that chicane. Just went right over the bump like you're supposed to.
And again,
no hesitation.
Watch that wheel. That's the telltale sign. When it's right, they're barely moving it. It's just a twitch one way or the other.
Gracie Brown in second, followed by Gabe Tesh in third. But this is Jesse Webb starting to really open up some ground there on the backstretch.
Check out Gracie Brown in the second spot in the 12. She is going to be ridiculously good. Boy, Webb is on rails.
He is going to be tough to catch tonight.
No doubt about that.
The 2 through 4 looks like a nice little battle between Brown, Tesh, and Rogers behind him.
Yep.
Particularly that battle between Brown and Tesh for second place.
Yeah, and that's going to be a war. Tesh is fast. Gracie Brown is there goes Tesh. He's going to pull out into one.
And I think he's got the move. He's going to be able to sneak by, but she...
Crisscross applesauce, baby. But she can't close it. Tesh shut the door.
Nice job closing the door on her.
So Tesh is second, Brown is third, Kieran Rogers fourth, and Nolan Allison finally getting a tune-up on. He's out of the Hugler camp.
Now I wonder, Webb is way out in front, but if those guys are running right, they can maybe push themselves up and potentially catch him with the wind.
Yes, and Tesh has definitely got the speed to get there. If you look at the lap times, he's running the numbers. Webb goes at 40.1. Tesh goes at 41.058, but he's been in traffic a little bit, so we'll see what happens when he gets some open racetrack here. Yeah, the amazing story, Brian, about Gabe Tesh is he's a cancer survivor, and just talking with him a couple weeks ago, hearing the story, it's just amazing. His attitude towards life. I mean, it's just weird to see a kid of that age have such a mature attitude in the way he looks at everything, not just racing. It was one of the coolest stories I've ever heard. I mean, it was really slick.
Well, that's awesome. And I mean, you're faced with, your mortality that young an age. It makes you wiser beyond your years. For sure.
Absolutely, and it makes him go out and do what he's doing in the go-kart, because you have no fear after that.
You want to make the most of your life.
Absolutely,
it sounds cliche,
man.
but it's pretty true.
Yeah.
And speaking of making the most of things, there is number 9, and Jason Webb way out in front, followed by Gabe Tesh and company. Gracie Brown in third, Kieran Rogers fourth.
I mean, look at the lap. 40.028 for Webb, your leader. Tesh goes at 40.1. So a bit off. Only 3 seconds back. That's going to be tough to make up with Webb. I mean, he doesn't make very many mistakes. So, and he runs for Italian Motors USA up in Sumas, and he's got all the tools at his disposal. So it's no wonder he's fast.
Yeah, his kart looks great right now.
Mm-hmm. And for less than 2 years in it, my goodness. He's going to go on to do some Mazda big car stuff next year, as well as move up into the shifter. So it'll be real interesting to see Jesse Webb's walk, I guess as you say, for lack of a better word, up to the bigger stuff.
Halfway through this Federated Auto Parts Tag Junior race. It is the 5th race out of 10 here at the 5th annual Saturday Night Shootout, so we're basically at the halfway point almost.
Yep, that's the one thing the shootout isn't. You don't get out of here early, that's for sure. But when you got this many cars, what do you do? I mean, it's just one of those things.
It's been a lot of fun, though, just watching all the heat races, and it's a little bit different setup the way they do that with a little more heat races to sort out the field. And
makes it kind of special, as it should be. It's a special event, and you've done all 5.
I have done all 5 with you.
No, I missed 1 year.
You missed 1 year, that's right.
I did. Time flies when you're having fun, man.
No, it's amazing.
You gotta get your daughter one.
My Grace is no Gracie Brown.
You never know.
She's more likely to do theater or dance than hop in a cart.
And you know what? That's okay too.
Got her riding a bike for the first time a couple weekends ago. That was an achievement.
How old is she?
She's 10.
Oh, awesome.
Meanwhile, we've got 5-year-olds going 35 miles an hour kid karts here.
Boy, Jesse Webb drops down into 39-second bracket, 39.913. Tesh goes a 39.961. With about 4 minutes left in this one. Tesh has got a long way to go, but
he did shave off a little bit of time there.
He is running the number. 3.5 seconds back. That's an eternity in motorsports. Got a little bling action going on there.
Yeah, who's that?
I think that was Jacob Rink in the 6.
And that's the 5 of Nolan Allison there. Back to Webb.
Boy,
he navigates that final turn before the straightaway.
Yep, he is just silky smooth. Gracie Brown in the 3rd spot.
Tesh has got a nice lead, though, on the number 12, Brown. And Brown's got to be careful because Kieran Rogers is knocking on the door.
Absolutely.
That's the 5 of Kieran Rogers.
And, you know, Nolan Allison isn't that far back either. So, I mean, anything can happen. Boy. When you're dialed, Brian, you're dialed. And Webb is on rails. Great kid, too, if you ever get a chance to talk to him. Just super kid. There is Tesh.
And you're right, that is Jacob Rinka.
The Blingmeister. William Ginn is definitely, he didn't start, it's too bad, but he's definitely a runner as well. Just had some gremlins today, which is a disappointment.
As far as tracks, you know, setting up your kart, how does this track rate? Is it an easier track to set up for, or is it a little bit more challenging because of all the turns?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the tracks, I mean, they're road race tracks, right? So, I mean, they go right, left. I mean, really the ideal is to get your kart set up neutral enough where it's just small changes when you get there and you're not completely out to lunch. Most of these guys have been everywhere, so they've got a good idea of where they need to be before they get here, and then they just dial. Depending on the weather and the racetrack and so on, they just make little minor adjustments.
There is Jason Webb, Jesse Webb, all by himself.
Tesh. Boy, did Gracie Brown
and Kieran Rogers still 3-4 as they've been, but Brown has a battle on her hands with Kieran Rogers.
Sure does, but she'll take the heat. She can handle it.
There is Webb. Heading into the dog leg.
I mean, see that wheel? It barely moves.
That's the battle we're really watching between Brown and Rogers.
And here comes the one to go from Phil Pitts, our chief starter here at Horn Rapids.
One left, and that's going to be a battle. That final lap between Brown and Rogers, 3rd place. There is Gabe Tesh. And he's put it in cruise control. Jason Webb, start to finish, he's been the leader of this Federated Auto Parts Tag Junior race.
Yeah, Jesse Webb, that's a name you're going to be hearing coming around. I mean, he is a shoot.
Here comes Jesse Webb out of the chicane and down the straightaway. Jesse Webb is our winner going away in the Federated Auto Parts Tag Junior race. the house of auto parts and paints, Tag Junior Race, more specifically.
How about Gabe Tesh? I mean, the kid hasn't hardly run all year. He runs here Saturday Shootout, he gets second.
Second
Amazing.
place for Tesh, followed by Brown and Rogers in third and fourth, and then Nolan Allison rounding out the top 5 here. And so once again, the winner of the Tag Junior Race is Jesse Webb going away. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, Cooper Perkins in victory lane with our winner. Let's set it down to Cooper Perkins, who is standing by with our winner.
Winner of the Tag Juniors, Jesse Webb. Jesse, congratulations. You had to fight off Gabe there at the end. An outstanding race for you. Take me through your perspective.
Oh, it was a good race. Off the start, I got the jump that you usually get from pole, and I was able to hold that and just keep that gap or gain on it. It was like 1/10 quicker a lap, which still over like a 12-lap race will make a difference.
We've heard a lot tonight about how the course cools down as you get to the nighttime. Tell me a little bit about the difference between racing in the heats earlier today and racing in the final just now.
Well, I've never raced at night like this before, but yeah, you can definitely tell that the track did cool down, and you really lose the rear more than you lose the front, for me at least, and it seemed like some of my competitors too. Yeah, lost the rear. That's kind of in braking sooner. So.
How long did it take you to adjust to that?
I adjusted pretty quickly. I'm 2 years into karting, not even, so I mean, it was cool.
So you get this win now. What are you gonna do the rest of the night?
Well, I got a 4-stroke race to go out and try and do good in that, starting 4th, so see how that goes.
What do you say we see you here a little bit later then? All right, Jesse Webb, winner of the Tag Juniors.
Thanks, Cooper. Coming up next on the Saturday Night Shootout, the Redder & Company World Formula Race. Stay with us. And welcome back to the Tri-City Kart Club. Up next, it's the Redder & Company World Formula Race.
And this is where it gets different. They do it like Formula One. On the point, the 28, going to be Dakota Gridlin. Young hot dog that's really going on. The 303, Sean Keys. The 66, Greg Norman. The 45, Brian Green. The other 66, we got 2 of them, or it's 661 actually, is Mike Pierce and Bryce Peterson in the 17.
Looks like Dakota Gridlin is leading things in the early going.
That kid is tough, let me tell you.
Yeah, that's the 28 of Gridlin in first place. Nudged ahead of Sean Keys, who started out on the pole.
Yeah, Keys has come into his own as well. Definitely definitely an improved driver, no doubt. Normandin, he's going to pull out. He's going to get Keys into 1.
Looking to be aggressive early on. That's fun.
And took Brian Green with him. Keys hanging tough on the outside. Brian Green finally gets into the 3rd spot, so Keys gets shuffled back to 4th.
That's allowing Gridlin to open up a little space with the rest of the pack as they all work their way around that horseshoe.
I think you'll find Normandin is pretty good. He was really good in the 2nd heat race, and he was putting up some numbers equal to Gridlin. Now, whether or not he can get up there and make something of this one, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, he moved up from 4th to 3rd, and now he's got his sights set on
Gridlin.
Yeah, definitely.
Bryce Peterson in the bright orange helmet there in the 17, clear down the tail end of the field. Once or twice a year he comes out and runs, so he's doing the boat thing now, and so he's a little bit rusty, but he's hanging, and plus he's a big kid and he gives away a little bit of weight as well, but he's a wheel, no doubt about it.
Let's run down the field here real quick as we went through that first lap. Dakota Gridlin in 1st, followed by Greg Normandin in 2nd, Brian Green 3rd, Sean Keys 4th, and Mike Pierce in 5th. There is Gridlin with about a 2 to 3 kart length lead, working through that chicane.
And you know, these world formulas are such that, like in the late race, you pull out and you make a pit, it doesn't work. It takes you another maybe lap or sort of really get back up into full speed, you know, singing. And so a mistake shows up huge on the racetrack. I mean, it might show up in feet, just a little mistake. Very important with these 4-strokes to keep them rolling. Funny, this is a night race. Last weekend at PARC down in Oregon, Dakota Gridland won the night race there too as well against Brian Green and Greg Normandin and the rest of the clan. So he's going to try to get 2 for 2.
And I wonder, sometimes I would think that a night race, your driving style might fit that a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they race any different than a day show other than maybe, Brian...
They talk about how the track is a little bit cooler, so they go faster.
Correct. But really, that's telling me they race the racetrack. They don't really... I mean, you race other people, but truthfully, first you race the racetrack, and that's what you got to beat first, and then the other guys.
Good battle there between Normandin and Green for that second spot. Green is not really letting go Normandin, who made the pass.
Believe us or not, I believe Brian is late 60s, maybe. He's up there, same as Normandin. I mean, they're mid 60s, so they're the elder statesmen of this bunch here.
They're the AARP.
Yeah, they are, but they're fast.
Of the KRT.
I mean, they are always fast everywhere they go.
See Gridland there around the horseshoe, followed by the two 60 plus.
Gridland went a 44.711. Normandin went a 44.931. Green goes in 8:20, so he was actually quicker than Normandin in that lap. But again, getting there is one thing, getting by is another, and it doesn't get any easier the closer you get to the front.
Halfway through this race now. There is Gridland. The last couple of races here, we've seen this where that a little bit of kind of a cloud of dust out of that first few turns, and then it seems like our leader emerges and then is able to sustain. Let's see if that script holds true with Gridland here in this race.
That is correct. And they've transitioned from the day to the night. Hopefully they were late enough in that second heat race, they got an idea, but you still really don't 100% know until you actually get there. So it's a guess at best, Brian, no matter what. It's just the more educated it is, the better.
This is race number 6 on the 10-race docket for the 5th annual Saturday Night Shootout. What an incredible all-star night of racing. A Redder & Company World Formula race, and Dakota Gridland is our leader.
And he is going to work. 44.713, his best lap on lap 5 was a 44.711. Don't get much more consistent than that. Normandin right there with a 992, Green with a 994. I mean, look how close this is. Sean Key's last lap was one of the quickest cars in the racetrack. He's running 4th.
And Normandin and Green are pretty much nose to tail, and they've been that way for several laps.
Brian Green has got, I can't even count how many championships he's got. Grand National Championships. Greg Normandin won one. So I mean, these guys just aren't your ordinary racers. They've been there and done that. But this kid's gonna win a few. I got the pleasure of watching him on the dirt too during the winter. He comes and runs the indoor stuff, and he is every bit as fast there as he is here. Bryce Peterson, Mike Pierce having a good little battle back there at 5th and 6th. So you had a chance to come out last year and do a little pre-drive in these things out here at Tri-City. So what did you think as a driver actually being out there?
I can tell you it's tough stuff. I did not do particularly well. So when I had an opportunity to come back this year and test out the track a little bit, I passed.
Sweet.
Because I ended up in the infield and in the lap of another driver. And
No.
so it was a little bit dangerous. I thought maybe I should retire and leave the kart racing to the pros like Dakota Gridlin, who is in that 28 first place, and that lead keeps getting wider and wider on Normandin and Green in the 66 and 45.
Yep, Sean Keys as well. I'm surprised Keys is back for you. He ran really good in the heat races, but there again, that's that transition phase. So you either hit it or you nail it or you don't. So
yeah, he's kind of in no man's land there in fourth, and then in fifth and sixth you've got Pierce and Peterson.
yeah, I like that battle. That's been a good one.
Peterson tries to make a move. Pierce able to close the door.
I mean, if you would have watched Bryce Peterson as a junior and you saw him, that you would never believe he's a man-child now. I mean, being big is not as much of a disadvantage as it used to be. I mean, being big like that, it does make a difference. Man, Gridlin is rolling. 44.490. Norman win a 693 and Brian Green win a 714. It's all track position at this point now. Through the chicane, watch this. Like one go-kart almost, right? They're just almost in unison.
So when they're that close, you'd think that car behind Brian Green has a shot going into turn one, maybe make a pass. We'll see here. This is the final lap. There's the white flag.
We'll see.
And nice job from Norman to hold him away.
That's it.
There is Gridlin through the horseshoe and into the dog leg, and Gridlin can taste that victory.
Etiquette says you give them 4 wheels. So they give them 4 wheels and that's it. That's enough. That's all you're getting. You're going to go by, you got enough room to go by. But Gridlin isn't going to have to worry about that.
Dakota Gridlin down the straightaway. Dakota Gridlin going to win the Redder and Company World Formula. Great battle there. Woo, for second and third.
Wow.
Greg Normandin holding off Brian Green. Wow.
Almost lost that. Rowdy all over it.
That was by a nose. Exciting finish there to the Redder and Company World Formula race. Let's send it down to Cooper Perkins, who is in victory lane with our winner, Dakota Gridlin.
Winner of the World Formula, Dakota Gridlin, a dominating run. You won by more than 3 seconds and ran away with it. What was that like, being all the way by yourself in front, cruising to the finish?
I was just happy I was that far ahead. I'm kind of still learning this track, so I was kind of surprised how far I got. So I was just happy.
Is this your first weekend racing here?
No, this is probably like my 5th, but this is a difficult track to learn, so I'm getting better at it, let's just say.
Oh, as you improve and get more familiar with it, what are you trying to accomplish at each turn?
To make sure I don't slide out and lose any speed coming out and just getting a good exit.
Things cool down a lot here as the night goes on. You raced earlier today in the heats, but things are different. We keep hearing about that. What was your experience in the night track?
Well, I noticed was early in the day, I was hitting my rev limiter before the start-finish lane. Now, at the end of the day, we lost a little bit of traction, so I was hitting it a little bit after, so it was a little bit slower.
So now you take this, you have an opportunity to enjoy it. What are you going to do the rest of the night?
Right now, I'm going to try to get undressed, watch some racing, and pack up and get ready to leave.
Well, Dakota, congratulations. Winner of the World Formula.
Thanks, Cooper. Much more to come here in the 5th annual Saturday Night Shootout. Be back right after this. Boy, this is going to be fun right here. Welcome back to the Tri-City Kart Club. This is the Miller Lawn Care Senior Briggs 206 race.
Look at this field, Brian Levitan. Look at this. It never ends.
How many karts in this one, Terry?
31.
This is going to be fun here.
We're going to earn our keep in this one.
This is like rush hour traffic in Seattle, 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
In some ways, it might be worse. We'll see, but they're going to start from a standing start, and with 31 karts, it's probably a wise thing. The engine that they run in this, the Briggs 206, it's a sealed motor, meaning you get it from Briggs and you don't touch it. So everybody's the same, and it's meant to be, it's a driver's track. Not only that, but affordability-wise, everybody's the same motor, same everything. You buy one anywhere, it's the same. That's why you have 31 plus here in this, because it's affordable, it's even, and it's on you.
Well, the big name in this race
is Kyle Wick.
That's right, he's sitting in where else but first place.
However, I will say, he might not be the man tonight. Jake Preston could very well be the man, or Derek Wang. It's all going to come down to, we just can't guess it from here. There's just too many good ones in this one to try to even pick. I mean, Wang, Carson, one of the best. Sessler, Jordan, Mike Gutenberger coming back, Tyler Bessel and Derek, I mean, good night. There's just too many. I can't pick one. You can pick one, but I can't.
Kyle Wick coming into the race tonight, I mean, what a season he's had. I mean, you can't get much better than the #1 ranking.
No, you can't, but it's not in this class. He just kind of runs this for fun. So he's in and out. Some days he runs it, other times he doesn't. So, I mean, he's not in this all day, every day like some of these other guys are.
And Jake Preston's all over his tail. And in talking to Kyle before this race, you know, just asking his thoughts on the heats, he had said that Preston was somebody he thought he was going to have to contend with for the entire race. They really seemed set up about the same, and they were running pretty close.
Less than 6 inches the whole way, and you'll watch this here.
And I think Wang had to make some adjustments to his ride to try and catch up to them based on how they were doing in the heats. He was more concerned with Preston.
Yep. Kyle Wick, Jake Preston, Derek Wang in the 3rd spot. The 2 of Richard Carson, who is also a very underrated wheelman, in my opinion. He is 4th. Gabe Sessler 5th. Monroe Jordan 6th. Gutenberger 7th. Tyler Bessel went 8th. The 9 of Derek Biddle 9th. And Ray Tozzi is 10th. There is still some good drivers back here, Brian. Miles Peterson, Reese Garman.
Had a driver there just go out on the dirt a little bit, able to recover. And we finally have our first spin out. It looked like we were pretty close to having that earlier. That's a 6.
That's Nate McCarley. That's too bad. He was a front runner all day. And there you have it. One loss of focus, one little mistake, and bam, your night's done.
And look at Wick there with Preston right underneath them. They are pushing each other to separate a little bit. Wang right behind him.
And watch, when they come down the main chute, there will be no room between Preston's front bumper and Wick's rear bumper. I mean, he's pushing him down that front straightaway.
That is a battle. This is fun here. And it looks like that first 3 is really kind of separating a little bit. Wang right now is right up on Preston's bumper too.
Right, and just out of the picture, the 2 of Richard Carson, mark my words, he'll be there at the end.
He's really trying to jump in with that pack and get into that drafting situation.
God, this is awesome. Derek Wang in the 3rd spot. Preston pushing your leader, Auburn's Kyle Wick. Pretty polished kid, Wick is, isn't he, when you talk to him?
Oh, he is, and he's, you know what? What I've noticed is he takes it all in stride, just kind of enjoys it, real laid back. You got to be kind of even keel, I think, when you're traveling all over the country and competing, and just enjoys it. He has found himself in victory lane, winning a class of some kind every year that this Saturday night shootout has been going on. So he has certainly made a name for himself here.
Yeah, and you know the other cool thing about Wick is, you know, a lot of times when you're that talented and you're that good and you've got that many wins, you kind of, it shows. You think you're that, but man, he's such a humble kid, and as good as he is, you know, I mean, you never hear him, he didn't really talk about himself. He's awesome.
Just 19 years old and driving like he's driving. It's pretty incredible. He's got a younger brother, Connor,
who is going to be probably as good eventually. He's pretty close to it now. He's going to make one smart car owner somewhere a dang good wheelman. I know that. Kyle Wick will.
And you got Wick there along with
Preston and Wang.
And it's just like they are just chained together.
Yeah. They're not going anywhere. Look at this coming up on lap traffic already. They're going to go to work on the 14.
Wick able to maintain that lead, working around lap traffic.
Boy, it looked like the 14.
And things have loosened up a little bit behind him.
There is Wick as he goes into turn number 4. Uh-oh. Preston with problems. That puts Wang to second. Oh, Wang got by.
Yeah, he did. When they went through that lap traffic, Preston and Wang had a little trouble. And it looks like Wang was able to navigate past.
So what did Wick tell you about the chicane?
That's where he likes to get a lot of separation. That he'll go right over those bumps, and that's where he can really push past the field and get a little separation, or get a little gain on somebody trying to chase down and make a pass in turn 1. And that's really his MO. That's where he likes to operate.
Just a little subtle thing, but if you watch Kyle Wick, they had a great shot of him there just a minute ago. Watch him use his body. In every corner, he's loading whatever tire he needs by moving his, little spark there, got a wheel off. A sprocket bender right there, they call that. But just watch his body. You'll see it move side to side. He's trying to load that tire that he needs.
And he's leaning into that straightaway.
In the tuck. Jordan is 5th. Richard Carson is 4th. Gabe Sessler in the 604 is 6th. Tyler Besselin, he's back. Haven't seen him in a long time. Running well in the 617. Michael Gutenberger as well. Another regular here who's come back after a long leave of absence. Kason Lau, 9th, and Derek Biddle, 10th.
Well, there you got Kyle Wick and Derek Wang. They've kind of separated themselves from the field. Wang is really trying to hang with Wick here, trying to take advantage of that drafting on that back straightaway because the wind's coming at them, and is able to kind of hang close to Kyle Wick. And they have been able to separate a little bit from Jake Preston and everybody else.
Yeah, I can't believe Preston lost that much ground going by lap traffic, but maybe he did. Hopefully nothing awry there with the 51.
Wang is all over Kyle Wick now.
Yep, and you know what? For these two guys, this is, I hate to use the term, but it's mindless. More or less they're relaxing here. This is fun for them. You know, after all the serious shifter stuff and DD2 and all the stuff they run, it's just nice and relaxed. Go out and have some fun. They don't have to really worry about it. Boy, Carson and Preston. Preston finds himself with Carson all over his backside now.
Yeah, he has drifted to the back of the pack, and Kyle Wick thinking that Preston was going to be his toughest competition in this race. Wang is saying, actually, it's going to be me, sir.
Yep, and every bit as tough. Yeah, they're rolling. Tyler Besselin in the 617, back in the 7th spot. Michael Gutenberger in the 344 is 8th. Daytona Arndt in the 500 is 9th. Biddle 10th. Kason Lau 11th. These are the two that are surprising me. Lau and Barrera Garcia 11th and 12th. That's not normally where they run. At least the times I've seen.
There is the white flag. 1 lap left here.
Oh, Wang! He's going to try the outside in 4.
And Wick is able to close the door. Well, this is going to be a fun finish here to the Senior Briggs 206. Wang gonna make a move. And wow, Kyle Wick goes into the dirt.
He's got It's never over till it's over, Brian, right? Wayne gonna go in to win it. We'll see if there is one. He's gonna win it.
He's gonna win it. Boy, he had to fight off. He had to fight off Jake Preston at the end there. But that was some finish there. Kyle Wick.
What I tell you, Carson's third. He'll be there at the end. The guy is just crafty at that. Somehow, some way, he's always there at the end.
There is Derek Wang, our winner. Boy, what a finish to the Miller Lawn Care Senior Briggs 206. Derek Wang outlasting Kyle Wick to win it. Let's step aside, and when we come back, Cooper Perkins in victory lane with our winner. Interesting. Derek Wang penalized 5 seconds in that last race. The Miller Lawn Care Senior Briggs 206, and that means that Jake Preston is the winner. And let's send it down to Cooper Perkins, who is standing by in victory lane with our winner.
Winner of the Senior Briggs 206, Jake Preston, in a wild race. It ends after a challenge, and Jake, you become the winner of this. Take me through that last couple of laps where things were so close at the front in that four-man cluster.
Yeah, so basically what happened was I had about a 3-second gap between me and second, and that last lap, the two in the front were battling it out and ended up wrecking each other out. I ended up in second, but with a 5-second penalty for first, they ended up pushing me up to first. So, yeah.
So that was Derek Wang, who originally crossed first but was penalized, and Kyle Wick, who wrecked and then it came in fourth. Now, those are two outstanding racers. Kyle, one of the top in the country, but you're able to get the win here. What does that mean to you?
It's great. Last year I got third, so 2 more positions this year. It was great. Yeah.
Competing out here, we've heard a lot today about how the track cools down at night after you guys run your heats in the hot day earlier. Yeah. How did you have to adjust out there?
Well, first I just changed tire pressure. I went up by 2 psi when I went out for the first session. For my last heat, I went up to 15 psi, and then on the final, I went up to 15.5, which helped out a lot.
Well, clearly what you were doing worked. Jake Preston, the winner, the Senior Briggs 206.
Thanks, Cooper. Coming up next, much more racing on the 5th annual Saturday Night Shootout. Back right after this. Speaking of kart racing, we've got another good one here coming up. It's the Midnight Motorsports Tag Cadet. Smaller field of 4 karts. Yep. There's the green flag, and we are racing, folks.
Several familiar names in here. Caleb Keck, Justin Moore, Forrest Adams, and Lucy Becklin.
And there's the 19 of Caleb Keck. He's already a winner earlier tonight.
Kid's good.
Doing battle with Moore again. They battled for most of that last race.
Absolutely, Brian. Forrest Adams picking up a big win in that second heat race. And Lucy Becklin from down in Medford, Oregon.
Already some big separation there between Keck and Moore and the other two.
Yeah, like you said, there's kids that just get it, but that's the beauty of karting. They all get it when they get it. Moore just went a 43.688. Wow. But Forrest Adams was running those numbers in the second heat race, so.
They sometimes make a little adjustment in the kart after the second heat race, before the race, and maybe they adjust
and
the wrong way.
And sometimes it's the wrong way, that's correct. Absolutely, and it doesn't take much.
They say in golf, you're off by a millimeter, you're in the trees, right? And that's probably the same situation in racing.
Yes, it is. Oh, boy.
A little bit of a, boy, that was a nice save there by Moore.
It doesn't even phase them, right? You or I go off, put a wheel off, you're hard to be pounding and bumping. These kids just keep going.
A little bit of a spin out there.
Lucy Becklin. She's a good one. And again, her brother Cooper is very good in the shifters, and so does that have a difference? Maybe it does, but maybe Lucy just enjoys being out here and racing. But then again, maybe she's going to be as serious as her brother. So who knows? But she's out here doing a great job in the 4th spot.
It's a good opportunity to get a good look at some talented young drivers again here towards the end of this Saturday night shootout event. Got a couple more big races coming up. The Monteith Insurance Junior 2 Briggs 206, and of course the Wicked Fab Shifters.
Yeah, both of those are going to be amazing races. But for a lot of motorsports series, they don't realize that karting is perpetual motion as far as having drivers. It's just nobody gives karting really the credit it deserves. I mean, almost you look up any motorsports celebrity who's done anything, and their history goes back to karting in some way, shape, or form.
Well, I think just this kind of racing makes you better. Any kind of racing you go on to.
Like anything, it's all about seat time. The more you have, the better you're going to get.
It's amazing. That's what Spencer Fricky was talking about. The amount of seat time he's getting. I mean, at that age, between the ages of 7 and 10 years old, his formative years, I mean, that's irreplaceable. It becomes almost innate, some of the stuff you learn.
Right. And that's why the old statement of, everybody gets something new or they get a new kart and they want to know, well, should I do this and what do I have and I need this? And just go drive your go-kart. You'll learn so much just by driving it. You have to learn what the right questions are to ask, and that's what driving your go-kart gives you. Lucy Beckman. And they're racing hard now. They're going to the last lap, maybe tangle, take each other. But you know what? They're playing at the end of the night or when the main event's over. They're over kicking footballs and playing hoops or whatever. It's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, these kids grow up on a racetrack together, spend the whole summer together. It's fun. We're about halfway through this one here, the Midnight Motorsports Tag Cadet Race, and it's been a Caleb Keck and Tristan Moore battle from the get-go.
Second place Moore with the quick lap of the race so far, 43.688. Look at that, nose to tail. But boy, the motors are almost in unison, sounds like a set of twins. Pretty amazing. There is Forrest Adams.
Caleb Keck is just mistake-free.
Yeah, he is.
Not leaving an opening for Tristan Moore at all.
He's on rails. Oh, good shot at Lucy Beckman. Getting into one. Forrest Adams. When you see these kids get out of it, they're like, they're like 3 feet tall. You're going, what? You drove that? It's amazing.
Yeah, it kind of blows your mind a little bit.
It does.
Because I couldn't drive these things as hard as they're driving them.
Well, you could. You just wouldn't be on the racetrack very much. But, I mean, these kids are good. But, there again, it goes down to the seat time deal. These kids are in it almost every weekend somewhere. So you're going to get good if you're doing it enough. Forrest Adams.
He's run a solid race, kind of out in space all by himself.
He sure
lonely
has.
Out there in third place.
Absolutely.
But he's run a solid race. Like you said, he has the fastest lap of the race.
And he just bettered that one. He goes a 43.427. Keck went a 43.885.
Keck was flawless through that final turn before the straightaway.
Oh!
There goes Moore, and again, Keck's able to shut the door on him going into the turn. Out of the straightaway. Wow. That's good racing.
That's one of those things you got to feel when you pull out, right? When you pull out, you either know I'm going to go or if you got to think about it, you better not.
And you saw there coming out of that second turn, Tristan Moore took it a little bit too tight and slid out a little bit, lost some ground on Caleb Keck.
Yeah.
He's about a cart and a half length behind now.
So again, as we say, it might be get cliche, but you know, again, it boils down to whoever makes the fewest mistakes. And it's especially true in motorsport.
In this case, you know, with Tristan Moore in second place, got to at least give him an E for effort for trying to go after first place. He's, you know, at this point, if he loses a little bit of track position, he'll just finish in second. And he thought he had his moment to shoot the gap there, and he couldn't do it.
Absolutely. And sometimes you show it too early. That's just a risk you take. But all these kids, I mean, just to be out here competing, it doesn't matter whether you finish 8th or 1st or it's a feat to be here and to compete. I mean, it's a cool thing. So Mr. Pitts waving that 1 to go.
And it looks like Tristan Moore has been able to close the gap a little bit. And we'll have another shot here right up on his bumper.
A 43.9 for Keck, a 43.4 for Moore, and a 43.402 for Adams. So he dropped that quick lap of the race again.
There they go. Into the dogleg.
Yep. And 6 is where you might get, I don't know. Moore might be thinking something different, but let's see.
Keck perfect through the S.
To the stripe.
And let's see here. This
Drag
is going to be
race.
tight.
Oh.
And it looks like Caleb Keck by 1 car length.
.093. What is that? 93 1,000ths of a second.
That was tight. Caleb Keck was the winner and the leader pretty much throughout the race, but Tristan Moore made him earn every inch of that race.
Sure did, every lap. Way to go, Lucy Backlund. Way to stay with it, girl. That's good stuff.
And once again, our winner in the Midnight Motorsports Tag Cadet race is Caleb Keck. He'll be in victory lane with Cooper Perkins right after this short timeout. And now standing by in victory lane with our winner of the Midnight Motorsports race, the Cadet race, is Cooper Perkins.
Winner of the Tag Cadet, Caleb Keck. We already talked with him once tonight. He wins such a close race, .09 seconds. Absolutely outstanding. What was it like being toe-to-toe with Tristan there until the end?
I was actually kind of scared. I thought he was going to beat me there. I had to run the defensive line out of turn 3 to keep him from passing me.
You guys were close basically the whole race. Were you looking over your shoulder at him?
Yeah.
Well, you know he's back there. What are you trying to do from the start to keep him out of your sights?
I'm trying to go harder into the corners and smoother and hope to gap him a little bit.
You won earlier tonight. Were you feeling good and confident out there?
Yeah,
How much do you think that helped?
100% more.
So now you get to sit around and watch a little bit more racing. Such a successful night. Caleb, congratulations. The winner of the Tag Juniors.
Thanks, Cooper. Much more racing action to come here in the Saturday Night Shootout. Be back right after this. And you are getting a good look here at the field for the Monteith Insurance Junior 2 Briggs 206. This is going to be an incredible battle right here. They are all
29 of them, Brian.
29, unbelievable. That is some field. We've already got a huge spin out here.
Yeah.
A bunch of cars get stuck in that in between turns 2 and 3.
Oh, not Sessler.
Or that's turn 2 where they got stuck.
You're not gonna. Oh man. See, and the rule is if you're still running and you're off the track and you can get it going, you're fine. But the minute you get out of the go-kart, you're done. Tough break. Oh, check out Bryson Smith. He's gonna go. He's gonna go for the pass.
Well, they've got 2 laps. They got the yellow flag out, so I think this is a caution right here.
What?
Yeah, they got the yellow flag out. Am I right?
Huh? Yeah, they're going. So there's no No restart.
No restart. Okay. I saw the yellow flag waving. You can see it in the background there.
I mean, I hate to say it, but if you're smart, you just sit there. You don't go. You just sit there. Because that way you don't have to, especially if you lost some positions. At least that's what I would do.
And they've reset the field here. Bryson Smith in first place. Trey Arnton listed in second.
That's correct. No, but that's not. There's Arnton right there leading the way. It turned. Going to turn number 4.
"29 karts in that field." Not
Crazy.
surprising. Going to that first turn, coming into the second. You might have some spin outs.
There is Smith leading the way. Trey Arnton second. Jesse Webb. Oh no, Zach Meyer third. Jesse Webb fourth. Kieran Rogers fifth. Corey Rouse sixth. Thomas Olson in the 7th spot. Spencer Dutton 8th. Tegan Fletcher 9th. And Mason Smart from McMinnville, Oregon rounds out the top 10.
I got a nice field in here. Trey Arnton, boy, I talked to his father, and it's interesting how different he is as a driver compared to his sister Daytona. Dad says that Daytona's very calculated, really strategic with her racing, whereas Trey likes to just let it fly.
Wide open, baby.
Wide open. And we'll see a little bit of that tonight here in this race.
Yep. And back down in the field, away 16th, Riley Miller, a capable wheel. Nolan Allison, who we've seen. Hunter Hesseltine in the 14th spot. Garrett Pointer.
You were watching the Junior 2 Briggs 206.
Boy, Pointer fell to 18th. That's surprising. He had a great couple of heat races.
This race started off with some exciting action. Big wreck heading into the second turn. Bunch of cars off the track already. And it's Trey Arnton in the 97 leading things here in the early going.
Trey Arnton in the 2nd spot. 3rd is Jesse Webb. That is what I want to see, is how maybe Webb handles Bryson Smith and Trey Arnton.
And Arnton making the pass there on the 97 of Bryson Smith, and I should know better. Trey Arnton is obviously the number 3 car, hence the name Trey.
But
it looks like Smith's. Oh, go for it.
No, that's cool. Little crisscross applesauce for the 97 of Bryson Smith. That little over and under move. Look at Arnton in turn 4. That's tough to do there, but he stuck it.
That is tight. And riding along with them is Jesse Webb.
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
that they both got to pay attention to. Webb already a winner tonight.
This is going to be interesting, Brian. It's going to be real interesting.
Yeah, that 9 car of Jesse Webb, definitely one to keep an eye on in the 3rd spot. Already coming up on some lap traffic.
That's the 62 of Madison Cook, who they just put a lap down. You know, Trey Arnton, I do believe, spells his name with a 3 instead of the E, and it's a Dale Earnhardt 3.
That's right, paying a little homage to one of the greats.
Correct.
In the world of racing.
And his sister, whose name is Daytona, her number's 500.
Makes sense.
Boy, this is going to be so good. I'm really curious to see how, well, both Bryson Smith and Jesse Webb, they haven't run each other yet. I want to see how this is going to turn out.
This one is, I have a feeling there's going to be a few more swaps before this thing's done. How closely they're all running together. There's the 15. Oh, that's Kieran Rogers. That's the 5X.
The 5, yeah, he's got it's like a pound or a hashtag or something on there
And
instead
it looks
of
like a 15
1.
just from, yeah, I got you. And they're making the passes. Bryson Smith. Arnton tries to go right back.
Boy. Smith made that look easy. But look at Art. He's back. Whew. Almost.
They are going after each other. Jason Webb, meanwhile, being very patient behind him, and now catching them in 4th place is Kieran Rogers.
Correct.
And Kieran Rogers is benefiting from all that action between the first 2 cars in the race.
Do not count out the 27 of Zach Meyer. He has been solid all day.
There goes Arntzen again. Flashes before the first turn.
Madison Cook, unfortunately, in that 62, who we just saw that shot of, that speed shot, has retired out. Tough break there.
Oh, this right here is the most crowded field of drivers at the top of a race that we've seen yet tonight here, and it's in one of the bigger races. This is fun to watch.
Yes, it is. I mean, they look like one cart, just the way they all pair it together.
Arntzen again making a move, and it's early too. He's being real aggressive early on. And is he able to fly by? Boy, they're still fighting it out for first place. Arntzen might lose second place because of it.
Webb just buying his time. He's in the catbird seat, so.
And it's funny because, boy, Mr. Arntzen was saying Trey just likes to let it go.
And he will.
True to form, he is running a very different race than maybe his sister would.
He's a good kid, too. Boy, that's a tough lead pack right there. Oh, Arntzen. But he's aggressive because he wants to make Bryson Smith know, hey, I'm here to play. I'm not.
Arntzen's going to make the pass there.
And look at Webb.
Webb almost slipped by Smith as well. He might.
He might do it here.
He's kind of testing the waters a little bit.
The exit of 2 is tough because it's such a short run to 3 that if you get on that outside, you could get hung out to dry.
All 4 of those cars look like they went through the chicane pretty well.
Absolutely, and it's Webb in 4th.
Webb's going to make a move. And he's back into 3rd.
He got by the 5X of Kieran Rogers. Don't look now, but in 5th is the 63 of Corey Rao. And boy, the last couple times I've seen him run, he is definitely underrated.
Yeah, boy, there's because of all that back and forth action with 1 and 2, we've probably tightened up to about 6 cars here. You can see those other 2. That would be Corey Rao and Thomas Olsen, kind of creeping in.
Ooh.
And I think Corey Rao just ended up in the dirt a little bit, might get passed by Thomas Olsen.
You know, Olsen has been fast as well. He had a tough break in the second heat race, but he's had the speed to run with the leaders all day. There's Olsen.
For that, Arntzen just doing everything he can to hold off Smith. Or is that, excuse me, no, you're right, that's Olsen. My bad.
And then that's Rao in the 463, who is 6th. Zach Meyer in the 27 is 7th. Mason Smark from McMinnville. Great kid, much improved. I mean, his racecraft has improved like 100%.
1 lap to go. This has been a battle from the start. Primarily Arntzen and Smith.
Oh boy, look at that
Smith
move.
is going to make the pass. The 97 in the lead.
Webb goes to 3rd.
Arntzen make another. He likes to make the pass here in the horseshoe. Not able to find any room whatsoever. Boy, that was a move by Bryson Smith there to go to the dogleg.
Yes, it was, boy. And it was effortless, too. He just made it look easy.
Is there enough time for Arntzen to get back in this thing and reclaim the lead? Here is Bryson Smith. There's the checker. Ardson pops out, and he is going to finish in second. And Bryson Smith is our winner in the Monteith Insurance Junior 2 Briggs 206. What a finish.
59 1/1000th of a second.
That might have been our best finish yet, and that was race number 9. What will race number 10 bring us? Who knows? Be exciting. What a finish in the Monteith Insurance Junior 2 Briggs 206. And when we come back after this short timeout, Cooper Perkins in victory lane with our winner, Bryson Smith. And let's send it down to Cooper Perkins, who is in victory lane with our winner here in the Monteith Insurance Junior 2 Briggs 206.
With the winner of the Junior 2 Briggs 206, Bryson Smith. Bryson, incredible race, incredible finish. It took down to the final lap for you to pass Trey Ardson and get the win. Take me through your perspective and how that all played out.
Well, I mean, I knew it was going to be a tough race from the beginning. All running really close lap times all day. I really took the strategy of just trying to get in the front, trying to pull away. It didn't work, but at the end, I managed to get in the front, and from my perspective, it's just really good race.
You were trailing Trey for most of that last lap until you made an outstanding move. What were you looking for that you executed so well there?
I was just looking for a good opening. Usually on the last lap, the person first is really guarding, and I just had just barely enough room to get in there, and I squeezed in. Great race. That was probably the best race I've ever had.
It's an outstanding way to finish your weekend, but we heard so much about it today, about how the track changes throughout the day. You race the heats early when it's hot, and you race tonight in the final when it's cooled down. How did you have to adjust out there to the cooler track?
I mean, the grip is just, the amount of grip that changed. I mean, at the beginning it was so hot, but at the end it's like being in an ice rink. I mean, you're really just slipping around. It was great. I mean, you had to really take the corners smooth. A lot of the time you're really trying to play it safe. At the end there, it was kind of a risk. I got the reward, so I mean, we're good. But yeah, it's just at the beginning it's all really rushing it for the laps, but at the end it's just playing it safe.
You said it perfectly. You got the reward. You get the win in the Junior 2 Briggs 206. Bryson Smith, congratulations.
Thanks, Cooper. One more race left here in tonight's Saturday night shootout here at the Tri-City Kart Club. We'll be back right after this. And welcome back to the Horn Rapids Kart Track. Brian Levitan, Terry Bridges. Terry, the final race of the 5th annual Saturday night shootout, and this is going to be a good one.
Oh, absolutely. Now, there's 2 classes combined here. Our shifter class is brought to you by Wicked Fabrication, who is Kyle Wick's dad, and Performance Coatings is sponsoring our shifter Masters. Masters is 40 and over, and here we go.
This is going to be good. Some big names. There's the number 3 of Ricky Worley. There's one of the big names out of Midnight Motorsports. Kyle Wick, well, he was on the pole there for the shifter class.
You want to see magic? You're about ready to witness it. Keep your eye on Kyle Wick.
There he is. Kyle Wick looked like he had last race he was in the bag in the Senior Briggs 206. Got spun out in that final back straightaway by Derek Wang. Finished in 7th. See how he recovers here in the final race of the night.
He'll be fine. He's a kid that lets it roll. It rolls off. And 206 isn't really his class. He's just running for fun. So I don't think Kyle's too concerned about that. He's more focused on the shifter anyway. So he's fine.
Kyle's been a kid who's won every year this shootout. He's always won a class somewhere every year of the shootout. So he definitely wants to get back in victory lane here tonight. Keep that streak going.
Well, you know what? All it is we're witnessing now what we knew back 5-6 years ago. He was going to be good, and we're just getting to see the result of his labor here. No doubt about it.
He's not just good. The number 1 on his kart could represent his.
He's a national shifter champ.
Number 1 is
in
just
the country.
In the country, that's where he's rated. So
against names like Billy Musgrave, and I mean, there's too many to list. It's not easy. Oh no, we got one off.
Connor Wick, his brother, is right behind him.
We got 2 up over there, right before turn number 5. Hard to see who that is. It might be a couple Masters guys. By the way, Shifter Masters being led by Brian Nixon in the 10, followed by Jason Hall in the 64, Rusty Lingle, Britt Robinson, and Steve Siller.
And that looks like the 14.
Oh, that's TJ Madonna. So TJ Madonna, one of them, and Miles Peterson out.
Wow, so 2 big names there. The Shifters already out. And top 3, you see them stuck in the middle of the track. That's it's got to be a little bit frustrating to have your night end that early in the biggest race of the night.
Well, nobody was swinging, so that's a good thing.
There is Ricky Worley in 3rd place in the number 3 car.
And I'm going to tell you, Ricky Worley's a better shifter driver than he gets credit for. He just doesn't do it enough.
Brothers Wick 1-2 in this race here in the early going.
Just watch Kyle Wick. His cart is always, seems like it's always underneath him, and even if it's out from underneath him, he sees, oh! He's out!
Kyle Wick just spun out. What happened there?
Oh, my goodness!
And looks like
unbelievable!
His cart is not starting back up.
The
He is
shifter
done.
linkage, it looks like, has gone awry.
And now it's Connor Wick. And boy, I got to tell you, I was talking to Connor and Kyle before this race, and I was asking Connor about what it's like to race with his brother. He's like, well, I always come in second. And he was a little exasperated about it. Looks like tonight he has a chance to win this thing.
Wow.
Boy, some bad luck here befalling the usually dominant Kyle Wick.
And I'm here to tell you, when he does break, it is always something ridiculous. It's too bad. Wow. Well, that's a big change in this deal. That changes the whole game face of this one. You know, but if you ask Craig about the brothers Wick, everything was a competition. He says they can't even go to the bathroom without it being a race to see who gets there first. So a lot of competition there.
Yeah, I could tell it was a little bit of a sensitive subject, and I kind of backed off a little bit. Connor was like, well, he's got 3 years on me, you know. So there's Ricky Worley. Let's see if he can gain a little ground on the younger Wick. Doesn't look like it, as he is probably a few seconds behind him, and that's tough to make up.
Boy, that's the 219.
He's got about half the straightaway on him.
Yeah, that's Wick. Ricky Worley second. Cooper Becklin in the 3rd spot. Aaron Dost in the 9th. Finally, Los Angeles Gremlins, he's 4th. Travis Henson, a many-time IKF Gold Cup champ, 5th. And Jacob Parker is 6th.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering with Kyle Wick there, he had a pretty handsome lead there on his brother. And so there must have been some sort of a car issue because he didn't have to push it too hard.
It appeared if you saw the way he was wiggling the shifter handle, it's like the linkage, maybe the linkage came off and he couldn't shift it. Wow-wee. Again, don't ever count your chickens for their hats, that's for sure.
No, we thought there was going to be a Wick in victory lane, just didn't realize it was going to be Connor. Potentially. There's still some racing left, about halfway through this final race of the Saturday Night Shootout, 5th annual, and 5 years into this racing event, and it's alive and well, alive and kicking under the lights. Ricky Worley's going to have to do some defense here.
He got some company. Cooper Becklin from Medford, Oregon is on in that 19.
Yeah, he's closed the gap quite a bit on him.
But again, Worley's in a shifter maybe 2 times a year. You know, it's not his main class. He's just got married. He's a new dad, so he's a lot of changes going on in Ricky Worley's life right now.
Connor Wick looking pretty cool, calm, and collected, much like his older brother.
Well, let's put it this way. He's a 38.622. Becklin's a 39.051. So right now he's the only one in the 38s, he and Becklin. So it's Wicks to lose at this point.
Worley so far able to hold off Becklin there, maintain second place.
Yeah, and Becklin's in the seat a ton more than Worley. I mean, I'm telling you, Worley's an underrated shifter wheel. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it in my mind. Boy, now's when Connor Wicks hearing wheels feel loose and the brakes aren't working. You know what I mean? The steering feels like it's going to come apart. Crazy how that works.
Got to maintain focus.
And that's
it's almost harder to do it when you're out on an island by yourself racing at the first, I would think.
Certainly is. Nobody to pace yourself with. Back to our shifter masters. Rusty Lingle is P1. Jason Hall in the 64. He's on the Velox chassis, which Rusty Lingle's on, and Jason Hall is the importer for the Velox chassis. So he's got Brian Nixon, Rusty Lingle. So even though he's not leading, he's happy. His karts are running well. Steve Seiler getting ready to go a lap down. Oh, almost. Now, Steve is one of those guys. Steve Seiler is a guy that just got started and just immersed himself in it. I mean, he just absolutely loved it the first time he tried it. And shoot, he started out with a 4-stroke, and now he's got a shifter, and now he's running another tag and stuff. So, I mean, it's just great to see.
I think Becklin there finally made the pass on Worley just a second ago.
I'm going to tell you, Worley's probably pooped. He was up here as much as he was down there working on computers and getting things working. So
yeah, got to remember that. The Worleys do so much just for this track to be functioning as well as it has, especially in a busy race weekend like this weekend.
Sort of trying to be thinking about your setup and, you know, what you need. I mean, it's just, you know, you might know what you want, but it's just tough to get it all done. You got to have some good help.
And I think that is Becklin making the pass there pretty emphatically.
Brian Nixon in the 3rd spot in our Shifter Masters, brought to you by Performance Coatings. Steve Seiler and Britt Robinson is 5th.
Worley running in
the 3rd
place.
Spot. Yep.
Becklin moves into 2nd.
He's probably pooped, Brian. I mean, these shifters will wear you out. I mean, I think I'll have to check and see, but I'm sure they're shifting a bunch of times. I mean, it's some crazy amount of numbers, you know, 50, 60, 70 times. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Becklin's opening up in his lead a little bit there on the back straightaway.
Oh, something came off a Wicks car. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that looked good. Boy, this...
White flag, so you run it till it blows, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, again, let's see if... Did anything look different with his ride while he's making his way through?
It really doesn't. But it sure looked like it came off.
It looked like something, or maybe he ran over something that flew up in the air.
Correct.
There goes Connor Wick around in the dogleg on that back straightaway, and he could smell victory in the big finish here to the Saturday night shootout.
Wicked Fab Shifters, baby.
Wicked Fab Shifters, and it's Connor Wicks raced. He is our winner.
And check it out. I'm going to get up here. Oh, there it is. Rusty Lingle going to win the Performance Coatings Shifter Masters with Jason Hall 2nd and Brian Nixon 3rd, Steve Seiler 4th, and Britt Robinson in the 5th spot.
Well, this has been an action-packed night of racing under the lights here at the Tri-City Kart Club. Another terrific Saturday night shootout in the books. Hard to believe, Terry. Now look at that. Connor Wick is excited. Connor Wick is in victory lane. He is excited. He is a winner. And doing some
that's a huge monkey off your back, man, let me tell you.
And so our shifter races are in the books. And we have our 2 winners in victory lane with new Cooper Perkins, but first a quick timeout. So the shifter races are in the books, and there are two winners, Connor Wick and Rusty Lingle, and they're both in victory lane with our Cooper Perkins.
With the winner of the Shifters Masters, it's Rusty Lingle. Rusty, you ran away with things a little bit there at the end. A really impressive race. What were the marks you were looking to hit out there?
Oh, just a couple teammates of mine starting in front of me was my motivation, really. It was just a lot of drive. My SGM motor is just unreal, and, my Velox chassis is just, I don't know, it just drives, man. I don't even have to drive the car. I didn't even do that. I just did it.
Well, things went well for you down the stretch there. We've heard a lot today about how different the track is at night versus during the day. Maybe take me through what your adjustment was like out there tonight.
Mainly in my carburetor. I like driving at night. It's a little more slippery, and I'm not as good as some of these really fast guys, so being able to slide into the corners and not having as much grip in the weather really helped me, and I prefer the night. So,
had a couple of wrecks out there. What were you trying to do to avoid being a part of that?
I was so focused on catching the guy in front of me, I didn't even see him. I was right there, man.
Well, Rusty, congratulations. Enjoy the win. Rusty Lingle,
you.
winner of the Shifters Masters.
Thank you.
Winner of the Shifters class, it's Connor Wick. Connor, an outstanding race for you. You ran away with things there at the end after a couple of wrecks in front of you. Take me through those first couple of laps when things really got wild.
Yeah, my brother in the number 1 cart, something broke in his engine, and so I got by him there. It was fun. I didn't really expect to win when my brother's so much faster than me, but it worked out with the win, and it's really fun.
You ran a great race out there as well. There's some pretty competitive guys in the field. You take a couple of them out early on, but still a lot of talent left out on the track. What were you trying to accomplish that last 10, 12 laps when the field was kind of settled out?
Yeah, I was just trying not to mess up and drive off the track and make a mistake. So I got that done. And
how challenging is this track? We hear all kinds of different things about it, especially as it transitions into nighttime.
Yeah, I've done lots of laps here. It still gets you. You can always go faster and faster. It's kind of weird at night. It's a little different feeling out there. The grip levels and everything is different. But it's pretty cool.
So you mentioned your brother had something go wrong with his car. Now you have an opportunity to take the win here. Is there going to be any kind of competitive sibling rivalry there?
Probably. Yeah. I would like to beat him. Just heads up, straight race, but take a win when you can get one.
Well, we'll let you get after that and remind him who is the winner tonight. Connor Wick, the winner of the Shifters.
Thanks, Cooper. The shifter races are in the books, and so is another Saturday night shootout. Be back right after this to wrap things up. Terry, it's been another unbelievable night of racing here, the 5th annual Saturday night shootout at the Tri-City Kart Club, and it's been memorable.
Absolutely. It's what you come to expect here from the Tri-City Kart Club. Just always an awesome time, always great racing. I mean, it was just another wonderful shootout.
Yeah, number 5 was alive and filled with lots of action. Thanks so much for joining us on SWX. Have a good night, everybody.